Hello everybody, so here's Black Angel again, and I'm here with a video about a topic that I have been thinking about recently. So this video is about extraverted sensing. It's not going to be particularly long because I only want to pinpoint one thing. But anyway, it is very important for me to talk about this thing because I have been thinking about it for quite a long time. And the point is that extrovert sensing dominance, so we're talking about ESTPs and ESFPs, are supposed to have some characteristics in common, and that's because of their extrovert sensing dominant function. There are some things about introvert intuition inferior, obviously, but what we focus on here is specifically extrovert sensing. So this thing would be that I think I will call in raining as a way to put it. And raining talks about these types as people that will plug their field until they drop dead or something like that. That's roughly the idea. So the kind of person that basically keeps working, doing, going, and then all of a sudden goes like, oh my God, I'm sick, I'm dying. And at that point they stop, they take care of their health, of their body and their issues, and then they restart this whole I'm gonna go until I'm dead kind of thing. And these types are the extrovert sensing dominants. So I was trapped in this thought because I noticed that some extrovert sensing dominants brag about this thing to the point that one bodybuilder that I follow keeps writing, I'll sleep when I'm dead and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy about? And that's quite stupid to keep repeating that from my point of view. I mean, he's not a stupid person or anything. I'm not judging the person 360 degrees, but that thing there specifically is quite stupid in my eyes. So I'm like, okay, so I belong an extroverted sensing quadra. So why do I see things this way? And I was quite confused about it. That's why I gave it so much thought. And I came to a definite conclusion. The point is a difference between thinking functions. That's the difference. Thinking functions. An ESTP uses TI, whereas an ESFP uses extrovert thinking TE. That's the main difference. So we have been saying that extrovert thinking is about the opinion of the majority, whereas introvert thinking is about the person's opinion. So for the ESTP, it is important to keep going and to keep doing because that's part of his personality. It is important in his opinion and in his view to achieve and reach the most possible. So the whole ESTP focus is the also famous just do it, that is focused on achieving goals. So we're talking about a war machine, or they're considered powerhouses, people that go without stopping, but they do not talk about it. They do not care what others know about their doing or not doing stuff. They just start and keep going. And they're basically not even giving that much importance. What they focus on is actually the final destination, what they are going to achieve. So an ESTP is also more inclined to stop, take care of their body, make sure that their body is in a good condition so that they can keep going. So an ESTP is more likely to make random stops along the path to make sure that the machine they need to go to the end is going to be functioning. That's an ESTP. Whereas the ESFP, on the other hand, is an extroverted thinking type. So what is important for an ESFP is what people think about them. So what the majority thinks about what they're doing, what the majority's opinion is about their activity. And for a gamma quadra type, so for people that belong the other extrovert sensing group, meaning ESFPs, INTJs, ISFPs, and ENTJs. So these guys here have a very different view of life. They are those that go 100 in every direction. So for that specific group of people, it is extremely important to display activity, to show others that they are doing. So people that brag a lot about I'll sleep when I'm dead, I'll keep going until I drop dead, and stuff like that, are going to be ESFPs. And they do that because it's about their self-esteem. It's not just about their personality. So the action, they actually do it. It's not just, they don't just talk about it. They don't just say they do that. They actually do it. But they also brag about it. So that's what an ESFP is all about, because doing is part of their personality. Bragging about it is part of their self-esteem. So their self-esteem is based on everybody knowing that they're going to sleep when they're dead. And that's why they make such a ruckus about it. And there is another thing to keep in account, that the ESFP is that guy, that kind of type, that is not going to stop. So they're going to keep going. And they're not going to stop randomly as the ESTP does along the way. They're going to keep going. That's it. They're feelers. So they do not take into account what is best to do or the most logic way to perform actions. It's not that all feelers do that, but extrovert thinking feelers tend to have that kind of issue. That they do not take into account the most rational way to perform actions. That's a TI thing. It's not a TE thing, as most people think. We will talk about it in another video, but that's a TI thing. The most logic way to achieve a goal or to do something. That's a TI thing. And ESFPs are one of the two types that by excellence do not take into account the best possible way to do things. So they're not going to stop ever. They're not going to stop ever for that reason. If an ISFP is randomly inclined to see if they're actually acting logically, an ESFP is not. And if you tell an ESFP to act logically, they're going to probably disembowel you. That's maybe the most friendly option. They're not going to be happy about hearing that. They're going to become extremely aggressive if you tell them that. So ESFPs are the type that actually will sleep when they're dead, and they brag about it. So that's the difference between the two types, the ESFP and the ESTP, when it comes to extrovert sensing and action. So this is very important, because if you're trying to pick your type between these two, and you know that you're using extrovert sensing, you know that you're an active type, you know that you're someone that is very strong in this sense, and that is very focused on power, on achievement, and all this kind of stuff. So you know, but for sure, that you're using extrovert sensing. If you know that thing, but you can't tell if you're an ESFP or an ESTP, this thing can actually help you choose which type you are. If the idea of everybody knowing that you are a powerhouse is important to you, then you're an ESFP. If the idea of everybody knowing that you're a powerhouse is like, what the hell does that mean for me? I don't give a damn about that thing. Why would I want everybody knowing that? I just want to win my battles. That's it. Then maybe you're an ESTP. Or some other type, and you're not using extrovert sensing. Okay. Anyway, yeah, extrovert senses work this way. And this is what I recently found out and what I recently explored about the theory. I hope it helped, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.